All right, big news in the world of Fortress Forever. And that's been a little while since anybody said that. We have a working build of Fortress Forever on the 2013 SDK. Fortress Forever was built on SDK2006, which was the latest version at the time of development of Fortress Forever originally. That's the Episode 1 SDK, along with Lost Coast. That's pretty ancient by today's standards. Valve itself has moved on from this and no longer supports the 2006 SDK at all. They've moved all of their games to the 2013 SDK. This is the latest SDK of this type. It's still updated and patched on their side. But the community has put together a pre-patch shell for building on mods. This is the Source SDK 2013 Community Edition. And thanks to this project, Azzy was able to get the Fortress Forever build working on top of that SDK 2013. So that means for Fortress Forever that development can really resume and continue and and move forward. So there's a lot of problems with working with the 2006 SDK. It would only work on Visual Studio 2005, I think, which pretty difficult to work with, was possible, but by moving to this SDK 2013, we can now use Visual Studio 2022. Much nicer to work with. This will be a much better development workflow. And there's a lot of development that's already been done for the SDK 2013. This is the standard development kit that Half-Life and Source mods are built on now. Gary's mod and everything else is on 2013. So we'll be able to port over a lot of code, plugins, features, and new things from other games, other mods, and even that Valve itself has added in. I'm talking about achievements. I'm talking about bots. I'm talking about other server features, server mods. Not to mention, we can now get Linux servers working again, which hasn't been working on the 2006 branch for several years. This means cheaper servers. This means programmable starts and stops for servers. It opens up a lot of possibilities for the pubs and pugs. So really exciting to have some development moving forward in Fortress Forever. Big thanks to the community for getting us this far. Fortress Forever is a community mod. It always has been and always will be. It's free mod under the conditions of Valve's software development kits. And so that's not going to change. And so we're looking, as always, for more help and development. And so if you're looking for a project to get involved in and participate in the development of, then this is a really good project to participate in. This was built on the legit SDKs 2006, just in contrast to some other Team Fortress projects that have come about in the last couple of years that have been based on code leaks. And so those have a challenge in ever getting to Steam as a legit product. Fortress Forever is already on Steam in Valve's good graces as a legitimate mod. So if you want to work on a project that's already published on Steam, this is a great opportunity for getting involved. To the current players, if there's any concerns or hesitations, reservations about this process, I would say that just incentivizes you to become involved in the testing process. The plan right now is to stabilize this version and work out the bugs and get it working well enough to move to Steam as a beta branch. I'll do probably a separate guide at that time, and we'll announce it in the Discord about how to install that beta branch. But it'll just be going to your Steam properties, the game properties in Steam, and enabling the beta there. And then you'll have the option when you launch the game about which version to launch. This is how Counter-Strike just updated theirs in Steam there. So we'll do a similar process there. So look for word on that. And as I was saying, participate in those beta tests. Look for anything wrong with the game, anything you don't like about it, anything that's different. and then bring those up in the Discord conversations and set expectations and be vocal about what you think needs to be fixed before this becomes the actual primary build for Fortress Forever. When everything is working, everything is good, and we're in agreement about this having the correct feel and everything is good in Fortress Forever 2013, this will move to the primary build in Steam. The game will update to this version, and we can move forward from there, adding in new features, adding in anything else we want to, balance tweaks, anything else becomes easier now that we can work in Visual Studio 2022 rather than obsolete development environments and code that is not updated anymore by Valve. So this is really bringing us into the modern era. This will be great for the community over the next several years. I'm really not worried about this transition. I hope nobody else is either. And let's keep the conversation going. So let's now turn to actually installing this. All right, let's get started with this install here. I'll put a link to this GitHub page in the description here. We've got two repositories here. We've got the game files itself and the updated code, which can be compiled as part of the development process. We'll start with the game files here. We're going to need Git for Windows. You can install this software package. Comes with Git Bash to use the command line interface. It also has a graphic interface if you prefer that. And it also has this credential manager to manage your GitHub credentials to allow like native pushing code to GitHub. We'll take the address of the repository here and we'll copy that to our clipboard. It is possible, I think, to download this without GitHub. So we're going to go to our Steam/SteamApp/source mods directory, and I'll use Git Bash here. We'll git clone this repository here. Okay, now that that's completed, I got this new directory, Fortress Forever 2013. We're going to restart Steam. And we have Fortress Forever 2013. Very nice. Oop. That's fine.
Grid security offline! You got the flag!
Alright, so that is Fortress Forever running.
You got the flag!
In the 2013 SDK. That's going to be sufficient for that. But let's now cover the process for development and iterating this and fixing these bugs and compiling and completing this process here. So we're going to now install the source code here. Source code here. So again, we can actually just drop it right here. And for this, we're going to need Visual Studio 2022. You can get this from Microsoft. Just go here and you can use the Community Edition. It's free because it's an open source project. It's fine for those uses. All right, this is now completed. We have our source code directory here. And we'll go here. And we have a batch file here we're going to run. That will create our solution files for us here. We've got two options here. One will create the ones we need, and the other will create everything available. We'll just create the ones we need here. Open up in Visual Studio. It'll prompt you to install the plugins and whatever it needs for the solution on your first time opening it. We'll give it a minute here. All right. And we're going to build a solution here. So here's our actual source code. Well, this is building here. So as part of the development process, we're going to be making any necessary changes here, rebuilding the solution, testing it out. All right, so our compiling is finished here. We've got a new client and server DLL here. We're going to go get these from the binaries here. So we'll take all these files here, copy them, go back to our game directory. We can keep our old client and server DLLs if we want. And launch the game again. This will launch using these compiled versions of the client and server DLLs. So iterative process. This is still trying to get a lot of these bugs worked out. And then, as I've said, the next steps will be pushing this out to Steam as a beta test, getting all the bugs worked out, and getting this into an exact state that we want it to be to replace Fortress Forever on the 2006 build, and then move forward from there to ultimately replace Fortress Forever and move forward with the 2013 build. So very exciting time for Fortress Forever. Comment below if you got any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else, and join the conversation that's going on Discord. We'll see you there. I think as an Easter egg, you can loop this video.